Hi, welcome to my lab. Do you remember that on my last video I said that I love face of my recent doll? I lied. Well, partially, I still like how Vanish turned out. I like her eyes and that I was able to paint such thin lines with acrylics. However, can I say that I was fully satisfied with her face? No.
No.
I don't like that her face turned out so dark and dirty. When I was sealing her using my regular sponge method, my sponge got dirty very fast and I was spreading dark blue pastels all over her face. Even if I tried to be very clean and use as little sealant as possible, I got tons of contaminations, which I couldn't take off because they were sealed. I had huge dilemma with her because I like her eyes, which stopped me from calling her abomination, but her skin is... bleh. I decided to leave her as it is and pretended that it is what I wanted, because back then I had no chance to fix it. The problem with liquid sealant is that I cannot build up highlights at all, and it doesn't matter how much layers of white pencil or pastel I apply, it will disappear with each sealing. So I decided to buy an airbrush. Spraying the sealant will prevent spreading darker pastels with sponge. I still cannot use Mr. Super Clear, the most popular sealant in doll art community, but using airbrush will help my face up stay clean. I decided to try this baby on one of my oldest repaint, my blue alien doll. She was second doll on my channel. You don't have to watch it because I was still learning how to film my work and edit the videos, so quality is poor, background music is too loud, and I even don't have my Derpy star back then. Anyway, compared to my recent work, this face-up looks disappointing and bothers me in my doll collection, so I decided to give her some makeover. Off camera, I prepared the doll. I protected her hair with cloth and cleaned her old face. I had to soak her face in acetone and scrub old paint with my fingers, which damaged the vinyl. It starts good! I sprayed her face with Duraclear Ultra Matte Varnish diluted with water using my new airbrush. After a few thin layers, I started to sketch her new eyes. I gave her quite small irises this time. Recently I saw Face Up by Doll Dream 13 with small irises and it looks so pretty, so I wanted to try it on my own. As a last step, I draw her signature swirls under her eyes. Then I took pastels and started to contour her face. When I was done with this layer, I sprayed her to seal the deal. And it is still smudging. I was trying to build up the color with pencils and pastels, but they didn't want to stick very well, especially pencils. Right now, after a few more tries with airbrush, I think that I diluted sealant too much, but I never used airbrush before, so I wasn't sure about proper consistency of the sprayed liquid. Anyway, I decided to switch to the paints because I thought that it would be easier to learn how to use airbrush with something which is not transparent. Wait, it's not working. Here it is. Oops. Sorry. Behave. Okay, we are now in the abomination state. So far, so good. I started to add some shadows and highlights to her face and body, as well light purple blush. Still, I don't know what I am doing. I am getting many splashes and paint farts, but I am just keep going. This is practice and learning new tool. I am not pushing myself too hard. It is time for her new face. Now I am in my comfort zone. I sketched her eyes with blue acrylics. I want to give her blue waterline, so this is perfect color for start. Then I am filling her scleras with white. I am usually applying few coats for full opacity, so I like to start at the very beginning. Next I am adding highlights with the light blue paint, the same which I used for airbrush, to frame her eyes, brows and cupid bow. Now it is time for her bright red irises and swirls under eyes. Painting her eyes was a challenge, they are so tiny. I used a bit of yellow for highlights. As a last step, I painted her eyelids with dark blue. Then some small touch-ups like shadows in her eyeballs, white catch lights in her eyes, and she's done! Time to see how she looks with her hair. Oops, it looks like I didn't mask her correctly. At first I tried to cover it with white paint, but it didn't look well, so I decided to go with it and paint her hair with diluted blue paint, trying to make a gradient and pretending that this is exactly what I wanted. Finally, with my teeny tiny super glue, I added 4 rhinestones to her forehead and she's done! I have a lot of fun with repainting her, even if this face-up was quite easy. I didn't make any changes in the design, I just paint her in my current style. And what a progress just after 1 year! Maybe I'll repaint her next year to see how I'll change now. When it comes to the airbrush, I am very happy that I bought it. It is so fun! Of course, I still need to learn how to manage it, because I get a lot of splashes, but to be honest, they don't bother me at all. They give her face very nice texture with galaxy vibe. She's an alien and galaxy theme suits her perfectly. I really want to prepare some galaxy themed doll now. I hope you enjoyed this small face up. I'm going with something big for the next video, so stay tuned for it. Have a nice day. Bye!